No egos.
No judgment.
Break bread and prosper. Talk to a brother. Chris, so obviously in the business that I run my partner Selena, and we're very close knit, and no one ain't coming in on our level with us, and it's all employees trying to train them to be the best they can be. Since meeting you and working with you, I see you're very community based, like you're trying to bring people up and empower them to kind of run it on your level, and I see that through all the work that you do. What is the biggest stumbling block about working with people in your community that you find at the moment?
Brother, thank you for asking that question. I think on a real, it's probably ego. And I don't know if I can say like it's a systematic design where within our community, I don't know if it's a brainwashing or what it is, but it actually hurts me when I see it so many times that we're almost trained to hate each other. And on so many platforms where I have led, some of the biggest elements of, I don't want to say sabotage, but of just dysfunction is when we're trying to operate with each other. Like it's almost like we can't, there's something stopping us, there's a block stopping us from working together. I've experienced it in the corporate industry, experienced it with my business so many times. I'm not saying that I'm an angel, I'm not saying that I haven't had lessons to learn, I haven't had elements of growth where I needed to grow myself. But as you say, I always want to, one of my biggest priorities is to help to empower people to believe in themselves. I see so many leaders out there, I see so many people who are empresses, literally doing zombified roles. I always ask people, how you doing, how's your day, how's work kind of thing, and people are, oh yeah, same old kind of thing. It's like, if this same old, why are you doing it? How are you feeling? Oh, I'm okay. I'm just getting by.
Surface break.
And the things you've said, if you said that so many times to somebody, and it becomes the norm, you're a zombie. You're a zombie. Like, why are you living that kind of lifestyle? And we're greater than that, man. On a real, we're so much greater. So for me, just answering to your question. For me, if I've got a platform where I can help people reflect on themselves and reflect on what their actual purpose is, and identify with themselves and find self-love and see, wow, this is a business, this is an enterprise that's growing, and I was a part of that. I was able to help come up with the designs for it. I was able to do the marketing. I was able to come up and do a pop-up shop. I was able to come and train and help to actually develop other people and save so many lives along the way that I didn't even realize I was tapping into. For me, it's so relevant, it's so essential to help direct people to that. Like I'm not going to write completely. There's still people now, even up until last night, I was on a phone, an unfortunate phone call, but I think a necessary one, where somebody who I wanted to empower within my enterprise, and I thought I'd given them all the correct tools to achieve what they told me they wanted to achieve, but I got checked straight away, and I was even questioning about my manhood and everything. And I can laugh at it now because it's quite funny, and I reflect on the conversation of where that person is themselves. But it's not something that I would allow to deter me, because what I'm trying to do, the legacy I'm trying to build, is so much bigger than this little conversation kind of thing.
Do you think there's trust issues in the community?
Absolutely.
Pocket watching.
Brother. Crabs in a barrel. Crabs in a barrel, like you were saying earlier, we were having this conversation earlier. There's a crabs in a barrel mentality within our community that is it's so dysfunctional. When you look at other communities, and call this what you will, it's your choice, but when you look at other communities, the Jewish community, well, for one, with the Jewish community, I don't know the last time you saw a Jewish person, but these guys have their own, they have their own land and everything, like, on a real, like what they're doing is admirable. But when you look at other communities, they're so tight-knit, pass money within their own hands. They own, from the economy to land to property, from the Jewish community to Asian community to Indian, Pakistani to Eastern European now, on a real, From 2005 onwards, from credit crunch crisis times, you see a lot more. It started out with like the Polish community.
Yeah.
Now you've seen a lot more like Romanians, Hungarians that come through as well. These guys already have. You go into certain parts of Croydon. You go to certain, no matter what corner you go into now, you can see a Jewish shop there. Not Jewish, a Polish shop there. Springing up, shops, all around the place. And within the black community, how long have we been here? And it's very rare that you can actually walk into somewhere on a regular basis and actually see a black-owned shop. And even if you do see a black-owned shop pop up, you see about 3 Asian ones popped up right next to it, offering the exact same services.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't know if it's a stigma we have within ourselves. We would walk up there, even as a black person, you would see that one black shop and go, rah, there's a black shop there. Like, it looks a bit fresher over here, and the Asian one. Like, we're literally just like.
So what do you think the stumbling block is? What it is from your experience, working with people in corporate, in your own business, in going into the shops, what is the stumbling block that you're finding in the community? Because from my experience, I don't know, I've been to a number of meetings where with different agendas, and I look at myself fully as mixed race. And to be fair, I don't even like the term mixed race. I don't like being labelled as anything. I don't like being labelled as English. I'm very much with one person, with one people, and that is it. So I don't look at anything other than it's a shop.
Yeah.
But again, because you're looking at it from your community, you're seeing stumbling blocks. What is the stumbling block? Why is it somebody looking at a shop and not using that person's shop because of X, Y, Z?
Self-hate. I think, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. For me,
that's your opinion.
My opinion is self-hate. Look at this shop. We're in Nashat right now, by the way. Nashat in Church Street, Croydon. Shout out to Dr. Jude Joseph. Thank you, brother, as well for hosting us here. But we're in Nashat, right? This is the shop that is upstairs from where we are.
I've never heard of it before.
And this is what
I lived in Croydon all my life.
And same here, bro. I walked in just the other day, literally inquiring. I was calling from last week, and we don't take interest in empowering, in endorsing and empowering and investing in our own.
Yeah.
And once again, that's so detrimental for our community. There's so much value upstairs. I'm looking at the boards that Dr. Jude, Uncle Jude's got down here, about all the classes that he's got. Uncle Jude, can you just shout out some of the stuff that you do in your...
Yeah, financial literacy, we do language, group economics, we do a lot of things, music for young people, we go into history lessons about our culture, things like that.
So trying to build a community.
They're building the community. And there's a studio.
Built a community. It's here.
Right here. And there's a recording studio right here. Uncle Jude, you have a recording studio right there as well.
That's right. Yeah. We can record like jingles for businesses. Young people can come in and record. Come in and say hello, man. Picture. Come in, man. Yeah. Next time. No, for real though. You can talk about it.
Yeah, and there's something. Thomas works in. It does so many community projects. Right now, Thomas has been humble.
You know what? We started with Chris. We can do me another time, but because we're so in depth into your journey, I thought let's just carry on and talk about. Because I think this show's about people's journeys and not about what it's Thomas's turn. I'm your story. We talk a lot, but I don't get to see your story.
Yeah.
So as well as obviously we beat up, we've been negative, but I see a change in community.
Yeah, big time. Especially with people like. Well, there's a few people for me who are outstanding at the minute. Stormzy being one of them. I have to appreciate the courage that Storm and the level. And I'm gonna name. I think I'll say about 2 or 3. In fact, I'll say 3. There's 3 people for me. Stormzy's one on this side of the pond. He's got the courage to actually say, "Right, I understand what the system is. I understand what I've had to do to get where I am." Obviously, Ghanaian as well, so these guys are strong. But it's bullshit. Sorry for the swearing, but he's literally turned around and said, "It's BS. I can either choose to do what other people along the way." Skepta's another one that for me as well that I do like his stuff. But Stormzy is literally actually going up there, creating his own academies, creating own platforms, creating his book label. Like, this guy is doing a lot. You have to literally take it out to him and think, "Wow, There's so many people, so many millionaires that have come up back in, like through before him, so many British stars or whatever you want to call them, black British stars that have come up before. And Stormzy is literally using his platform to do, say, be, live an example of the right thing. Anybody trying to step on, like, I'm not saying he's perfect or anything, but anyone trying to step in the way of that's just self-hate. Another one, not obvious, but another one for me is Nipsey Hussle. Yeah. Nipsey Hussle was literally building bridges. This guy,
God in it.
And that's not an accident. That's another conversation. That's not an accident. I probably got the thing on the other side. You see, this is love, you know. I can't let the conversation go on. By telling my guy there's no food left. The food was good as well. But Nipsey's another one. That's another conversation. Yeah. Following the routes of like Cosby, controversial, everyone's got their thing to say, whatever. And my favourite right now, all time, Akon. If anybody doesn't know about what Akon is doing on the right side, the correct side of the pond, I don't know what you spend your time looking at or watching on TV or social media or whatever. Look at what Akon's doing. This guy has built a city. This guy started out with like solar power and that. Yeah. Angola, was it Angola?
Yeah, I know.
See what Akon's doing now. So what Akon's doing right now, for me, those are the sort of people that I'm looking at that are making waves. Yes, brother. We've just had my brother Norman coming from Juice It. Here we are. But yeah,
I think it's as much as we spoke very negative about almost the community that we're in. There's so much positive people around level doing something. The gentleman recording for us has just told me about the work he was doing for the previous year, and hopefully we'll get you on to talk about it. I'm not going to give you a thing, but CR7 Film Studios, you let me know about the art project he was running in Fulton Heath. Donna Murray Turner of Anos, the work that she did in the community is humongous. Lee Townsend from the BME Forum and Off the Record. Like, even though I could be negative about everybody in the world and every community, there's negativity in everything that we do. It's a balance. But there's so much positivity we need to highlight, and that will be the biggest part of our conversation, is highlighting positivity and the future. The future's bright. There's stabbings going on, but it can change. There's poverty, but if we work together as a community, whether it be, to be fair, no, it's everybody. Again, I'm going to take it from my point of view at this moment, which is everybody working together for one cause, which is the betterment of human beings. We can't lose.
Absolutely.
We can't lose.
Absolutely. And what we're building
is for everyone.
Is for everyone, brother.
No egos.
No judgment.
Break bread and prosper. Talk to a brother.